something kind of different. So my sister here has like level 3 hair. We usually just do a root retouch and then extensions on her. And she's wanting to do that again, but she's also wanting to add a fun little twist of a lavender money piece. So if you're wanting to know more about how we do this fun little fashion color money piece, stay tuned.
All right, you guys, so I have two different formulas mixed up right here. Her Root Retouch color is a 3N from Joico Lumashine with 20 volume. We use that on her just so that it sticks a little bit better because her hair is a lot lighter. And then I also have Schwarzkopf Blonde Me with 30 volume. I'm using that because we are trying to kick out most of this dark color, so we are able to do that fun little fashion color in the front. So I am parting her off right here, leaving her bang area out because this is where we want that fashion color money piece to sit. So I am just parting her off, which is the most important part, making sure your partings are really clean. And then we are going to be doing the foil work very first. You are my world in every place. It's the things that you do. So I am starting off by just lightening all of the pieces that are in that front face frame. So we are just doing back-to-back slices. I want to bleach all of this out. And the reason I'm doing it in foils is because I can get a better lift in foils. It's going to incubate the heat in there rather than just doing it all over lightener and having it be open air. And you can see here I'm doing really small sections. That's going to ensure that this lifts really well. She has had permanent color on her hair for years and years and years and years. So I told her not to expect anything crazy. Of course, our goal was a lavender money piece, but I also told her that may not be achievable. We just had to see how her hair lifted out. So in this video, I really wanted to talk to you guys about realistic client expectations. It's so important to have in-depth consultations with your clients and let them know what is possible and achievable for their hair, how many sessions it's going to take, how much it's going to cost, and just make sure you're upfront about all of that, because if you're not and you don't tell them what the process entails or you promise things you can't deliver on, it's actually going to be a lot worse for you in the end. It's going to be more uncomfortable and it could cost you a client in the end. So you want to make sure that you're always upfront with them. So like I said here, we talked about a lavender money piece, but I did tell her we're just going to see how your hair lifts out, and if it does lift out great, then we can do it, and if not, we may have to do a different color and then try bleaching it out again in, a few weeks or so. So it's just important to keep your clients in the loop, especially when it comes to fashion colors. It's kind of funny because when you're playing with like purple and blue fashion colors, you have to remember that if you don't get enough lift, all that fashion color is going to do is cancel out the tone that you got. So if you don't have a good canvas, it's not going to be the accurate tone that your client wants. So right here, I am just doing the root retouch. This is what we do on her regular appointment. So I'm just going through and touching all of her regrowth. She's actually like a level 6, 7 naturally, and we go down to a level 3 on her. So when her roots come in, it kind of looks like she has gray hair because it's so much lighter than the rest of her hair. So we have to be very accurate about the sections we're taking, really small sections, really clean sections. And she does this about every 4 weeks just because her hair is so light that, she likes to keep it fresh all the time. So it's also another thing you want to talk to your client about if they are in this situation where, they're going a lot darker or a lot lighter than their natural. They are going to require more maintenance. I think a lot of clients think going darker automatically means less maintenance, but for this client in particular, which she's my sister, so luckily she understands, going dark for her actually means more maintenance because, like I said, when her regrowth comes in, it looks like she has gray hair because it's so much lighter in contrast to the dark color she has on her hair. So that's just another example of talking to your client about what works best with their hair, what their maintenance is going to be like, and so on and so forth. So this is a little trick I like to use when I am refreshing a dark hair color like hers. Typically we just do a root retouch every time, and then probably 2 or 3 times a year we freshen up her ends as they fade out. I don't like to do it every time because I don't want to layer dark color on her hair every appointment, since we do her hair every 3 to 4 weeks. So what I'm doing here is I am getting her hair wet with a water bottle, getting it a little bit damp, and then as you can see here, I'm putting a foil on the base, and then I'm just running that same color I used on her roots through her ends, but dampening her hair with that water bottle helps it saturate better, and this is just going to give her a quick little refresh without having to go through each section and color it, section by section. So this little tip just kind of saves you time, and it also gives your client a really accurate refresh. we let her process about 45 minutes, and then as you can see here, she did lift a little bit lighter in the root area where her hair was natural, which of course was to be expected. She got to about a level 8 in that area, but then through her mid shaft and ends, it was more of like a 7-ish, I would say. Some areas were a 6, and like I said in the beginning, it is normal to expect that after years of color on her hair. And I also wanted to let her know that, you know, this is possible. This can happen. Some people lift really well, even with color on their hair. I've seen miracles happen. So I told her, you know, we'll just see what we get. But more accurately, I knew it was going to be about a level 6 to 7. So what I decided to do here once we were at the bowl is I am taking a 3N from Redken Shades EQ, and I am just tapping out her root where that 3N was. I also added a little 6NB just to give it a little bit of like depth in the area, because she did lift a little bit lighter and I didn't want it to go green or muddy. So I have that 3N 6NB right here, and I am just feathering that into the base. This is going to help that money piece blend in with her regular hair color. And then after that, I am taking Pulp Riot Midnight, and we are going to be putting that on her ends. This is going to be a better color for how she lifted, because if we tried to put purple over her hair right here, it just wouldn't even do anything. But the blue is going to take a little bit better because it's darker. Blue counteracts orange, so it will also help us get rid of that orange tone. And then we also will be adding extensions in her money piece area. So we did get blonde extensions and custom color them with the same formula I am using right here, the Pulp Riot Midnight. And that is awesome because if your client doesn't necessarily lift out the way you want them to, you can also add extensions for a fun pop of color. So we did as much as we could on her natural hair, and then the extensions really do give her hair that added blue piece. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that you learned a little bit of something. Let me know what your thoughts were in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one. And without you